They brought the guy in the morning of the fight. They picked him up from the airport. They gave him the guy who picked him up from the airport told me, yeah, I just gave him a Gatorade in the car. They brought him over, they put him on a scale, and threw him right in the ring, the poor guy. Poor bastard went like 4 rounds, got beat up, and that's it. You know, it happens.
Fight fans, this is Boxing Scene's top stories only on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. I am George DeMatteis. Quick reminder to download the ProBox TV app, where apps are available for the full ProBox TV experience, which includes insights from our world champions. We have Chris Algieri, we have Paulie Malignaggi, and we have ESPN analyst Hall of Famer Tim Bradley joining us here on Top Stories. All right, outrage stemming from the first-round heavyweight knockout of Argentina's Pablo El Pokémon Farias over appearing to take a dive in his loss in the Ukraine to Poland's Adam Balski, just 2 minutes and 26 seconds into the first round. Now, Farias went down to one knee after one punch to the body, standing only when the referee Valery Romanets was waving the fight over. Now, reaction on social media called it a shameful presentation. That was the headline on X, as Planeta Boxing Radio called the showing painful for Argentine boxing. Here is the video of the controversial knockout there with Pokémon Farias losing to Adam Balski. All right, Chris, we take a look at this video here. Does it look like a dive to you, and how often do you think this happens in boxing? Take a look at the video first. Yeah. So there's Farias in the green trunks there, and then Balski in the white trunks. This fight taking place in Lviv in the Ukraine. And that right hand to the body, Farias is down. And then after that, controversy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we don't know the details. That did look like that good of a shot, but also this guy's pretty soft in the midsection. But also, it makes me think of that fighter who walked out of the ring before the first bell because he actually had issues with the promoter in terms of his fight money, which actually turned out to hurt him because he thought he was going to get paid because he actually walked into the ring. But until the bell rings, you can't get paid. So, this guy might have been, listen, they don't know what's going on in between in terms of the travel, whatever going on, before the fight. They went in there, maybe I'll try for a little bit, but listen, if it's, I'm not gonna give my all. Because of whatever situation is going on. But in terms of controversy of conspiracy, people getting paid to take dives, it happens all the time, guys. It happens all over the world. But now we get to see a lot of these fights are aired. We see these fights are on video. It's not like back in the day where there's a lot of dark fights that you didn't see. So now we're these kind of situations where maybe a guy's taking a dive, we get to see it. And it is shameful, but it's nothing new. This is something that's happened in sport many times.
What the hell is shameful is his body. Look at his body. That's shameful.
He's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight.
Body, man.
But
Come
guys,
on, bro.
Chris, Tim, but you think guys get paid to take dives? I just think you're paying for the opponent that doesn't want to fight. I mean,
yes,
I don't think they get paid to lose. Guys like that are going to lose anyway. I just think that you get what you pay for. So if you're bringing in a guy who's not really coming to win to begin with. I mean, you can tell by the tub around his stomach that he's not really coming to win. I mean, you get what you pay for. And honestly, what's the difference with that knockout right there, that knockout shot, and Jason Rosario against Jamel Charlo? Is there a difference? I think actually Charlo's was a jab, right? It wasn't even a right hand.
I thought that was bad.
Yeah, so what's the difference? It's the same shot, pretty much. So, I mean, if you're going to do it,
dude,
if you're going to pick on Fatso, who's probably making a couple thousand. Who knows? They might have brought him in the morning of the fight. You don't know.
How many guys' records have these fights on them? And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. These guys do this all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to start policing this, you got to police it everywhere. Because this stuff happened at the championship fight. That was a unification, Rosario and Charlo. Remember that? What is everybody? It's the same shot. It's the same shot.
What if the dude had some money on it? Money on the stoppage in the first round.
You're betting. Tim, I had a friend, we used to make this expression. The guy was such a degenerate gambler, he'd bet on games that people didn't even care if people were wearing cleats or not on the field. Okay? Betting on what? Who's betting on this fight? People don't even care that these guys are in the ring. What odds are you getting on this fight? Where's the line on a fight?
But Tim's point,
he ain't betting on this fight.
Tim's point
is lines on fights like that.
They're paying me $1,000 to fly across the world. I'm gonna take that $1,000 and put it on a first round knockout. You
Look,
make a little extra money.
we're assuming, man. What if he had bubble guts? What if his stomach was hurt?
That's what I'm saying. That could be that too. The shot didn't penetrate. And also, like I said, I've seen opponents like this, because when you're talking about this level, you're looking at opponents who might be last second replacements for the original opponent, and you flew him in the morning of the fight. The guy flew across the world the same day. You strap gloves on him. I've seen this happen. I can remember earlier in my career, there was a show like this in New York on Broadway Boxing with the opponent. I'm not going to tell you who won the fight because I don't want to embarrass anybody. They brought the guy in the morning of the fight. They picked him up from the airport. They gave him the guy who picked him up from the airport told me, yeah, I just gave him a Gatorade in the car. They brought him over, they put him on a scale and threw him right in the ring, the poor guy. Poor bastard went like 4 rounds, got beat up, and that's it. You know, it happens. But so these things happen. If you're looking at fights of this level, anything is possible. We don't know the details of this. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy.
Paulie, at least it was a Gatorade. Back in my kickboxing days, I remember guys having a 22-ounce beer in the back, getting ready for the fight.
But that's what I'm saying. And that guy probably got paid a Happy Meal. Do they still make Happy Meals? Come on, bro. Leave the guy alone. Pay for better opponents. Make better shows. That's it. Take it out. Put it on the promoter. Leave Fatso alone.
So let's say that. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. So okay. So. Tim, what was the most suspicious thing that you thought maybe the fix was in that you've witnessed in the ring or remembering throughout your career?
I don't know if I really seen a fix in my career.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's not fix anymore, Tim. It's not fix. It's guys just don't want to fight.
Paulie, who was the New York guy? Richie Melito?
Yes!
Guys just show up and they have their mind made up.
Let Tim talk first. Bring that up. Go ahead.
Look. Guys just come, they show up for a paycheck, and they have their minds made up, and they say to themselves, the first big shot he lands on me, I'm out. That's it. You know, I'm ready to get my check and get the hell up out of here. I serve my purpose.
But those are opponents.
Don't beat them. Don't beat them. Yeah. You know, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. He said he ain't about to beat on me. He hit my rib. I'm out.
Yeah, those are just opponents, and he probably got paid a couple of bucks to show up last minute. What about the guys that fight not to get knocked out, they're journeymen, just so because if they get knocked out, they'll get suspended. But they'll fight not to win, but just not to get knocked out. They won't fight to win. But this way, you can fight every week, because otherwise, if you get stopped, you get put on medical suspension. What's that? You can nitpick here. But bring up Richie Melito, champ, because otherwise I'll bring it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Richie Melito was a guy that, he had a sterling record. He was this white heavyweight from the New York area, knocking everybody out.
I hate to say it, he was Italian-American.
Italian-American guy. And Richie Melito. But he was knocking everybody out. He has a great record. And then he fights Burt Cooper. And Burt Cooper was old at that time.
Can I put some context into this?
Go ahead.
I found out about Richie Melito. I just started boxing. I think this was '97. I literally just started training. And what happens, I read about this guy in the Italian newspaper. The Italian newspaper, they paid the Italian press to give this guy press too. But go ahead. Go.
Yeah, so I remember watching him even as a kid and being like, this guy's not very good, but he kept knocking everybody out. And then he fought Burt Cooper, who again
he got knocked out.
Was old, and he got knocked out in like
1 round.
90 seconds. Yeah. Like it was like a meet. As soon as he
and then it comes out that they were buying his fight.
They were buying his fight. So like in terms of historically, do I ever recognize or remember anything like this? This is one where it seemed like literally they were paying guys to take dives. Because the guy couldn't fight.
But do you make your investment on your return? It's not even worth it anymore. There's so much money flowing through boxing now that's not worth it to throw stuff like that anymore, unless you're the opponent and you just want to make a couple of bucks. Because whoever was making Burt Cooper, Richie Melito's matches didn't get a return on investment. Because if you got to pay off like 19 guys to take dives, guys that you should have beaten anyway,
they watched
and then
too many
movies. Around by Burt Cooper, it's pretty bad.
You know what? I'm suspicious about a couple of knockouts from Jake Paul. I am.
You out of your mind? Those shots landed. Those shots landed. You got to look at the opponent.
Wait. That uppercut, not this last opponent, but the one beforehand, that uppercut where dude ducked his head down, closed his eyes, knew the uppercut was coming. He picked the round, and when he was gonna knock the dude out in, bro, I'm
gonna push back on this one because Jake was throwing overhand shots for a couple. He set that up by throwing overhand wild right hands over the top. So this guy started going low, and instead of Jake coming over the top, if you look at the build-up to that knockout, Jake built it up. He was throwing right hands over the top. This guy gets low, and instead of the right hand over the top coming, the uppercut comes. That shot landed, and he also didn't see it because he's looking up.
The dude would close his damn eyes.
You want to pick a shot? Can I give you a knockout? I'll give you a knockout that's going to blow you away. Manny Pacquiao versus Manuel Torrecampo. The knockout that everybody knows about Pacquiao early in his career, that he just goes down real stiff and goes down. Tell me what lands. He doesn't get hit to the body because that's not how you go down from a body shot all stiff. Nothing hits him in the head. Nothing. There's no punch that lands. You want to look at a suspicious knockout? Manny Pacquiao versus Manuel Torrecampo. YouTube it. Okay, and that was a title fight. All right? YouTube Mr. Suspicion. All right? There's no, everybody's like, oh, it hits him to the body. Well, you don't, that's not the reaction you give when you get hit to the body. You don't go stiff and go straight down. And if you slow motion it, the heads don't collide, the punch doesn't land. How does he go down like that? You want to look at a knockout that's really suspicious that's with a fighter you know? Manny Pacquiao versus Manuel Torrecampo.
I think we're going to need a top stories or another show just on controversial knockouts, because that certainly inspired some great debates there. That's some great stuff from Paulie, Chris, and Tim. Looking forward to it and seeing what happens here. And, of course, any other controversial knockouts that happen, we will talk about it here on Top Stories. Just a reminder to scan the QR code, like and subscribe, leave your comments on all our YouTube posts on ProBox TV, our YouTube channel. And remember that on the app and on YouTube, you can watch the best live fight series in all of boxing. Wednesday Night Fights, another edition, October 9th here on your boxing channel. I'm George DeMatteis, and this is Boxing Scene's Top Stories.
Wednesday Night Fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday Night Fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday Night Fights, October 9th. Chris, Primetime Colbert, and Omar Super Salcido step into the ring for what is sure to be a barn burner. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at proboxtv.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday Night Fights.
For more ProBox TV, scan the QR code on the screen or go to the App Store and Google Play. ProBox TV, your boxing channel.